everybody, welcome to Week in Review. In Week in Review, we talk about all the different reviews we did over the past week, give you short summaries of them, and then we have links in the description. So if you want to go watch the full review, you can, and see what you think of it. Let's get started.
Hey everybody, Z Garcia here. Last week I reviewed this. What's in here? Well, nothing right now, but it comes with these 8 little games in there. So let's take a look at them. I reviewed Rum, a rummy-style card game with a couple of clever twists to the rummy formula. Nice pirate theme, very cool game, very much recommend that one. I reviewed Dig, a pick up and deliver game with a doggy theme, picking up bones, delivering them to the respective bowls. Very good, a little lighter than some of the other games in the series here, so a great family style game, really great as well. So is a game inspired by Mancala with a little bit more tactics than some of the other games in the line. Very cool, collecting flowers, making your own bouquet. Clever, interesting, a lot of game in this little package. Also very recommended. Orc is a game for 2 players only in a tug-of-war style setting, and it works really well. It's one of the shortest games in the series here, in the line of games, and it's got a couple of interesting tactics, so this one's pretty good too. I reviewed Gym. Gym is a game in which you are collecting kids, you are drafting kids, putting them to different sporting events in gym class. I like the first half of the game quite a bit, the drafting the students part, and then assigning them to the locations to go to the respective actions is okay. It's a little swingy. There's almost too much action and too much you're able to do to mess with where the kids end up ultimately. So not bad, but a little too little control ultimately for me. Spy is probably the most original one in the whole set here. Very cool, deduce what's in your opponent's hand kind of game. The whole game is played just in your hand. There's no deck of cards. You don't need a table. So a great waiting in line kind of game. It's a little too light maybe. I was kind of hoping for a little more going on, but then if you play with more than 2 players, the memory aspect really kicks in and it's a little too tough. But lots of clever ideas here, and like I said, very original. And then I played and reviewed Boo, which is a 2-player tile laying, tile flipping game. This one's okay. I find it to be too fiddly, and so it's not one I think I'll be coming back to very often. And then lastly, Box, a puzzly game, which is sort of a brain melter meets a game with very little control ultimately. Not a fan of this one. Really did not enjoy this one, and I would not recommend it. So that's it for me. Thanks very much. I'll see you next time.
Folks, welcome back to another Week in Review. This week I got 5 videos done. The first one was a review for Ragers, Champions of the Arena, put out by Galacta. Now, this is a 2-player card game where you're simply going through a paper, rock, scissors mechanism with some clever card play that could be thrown in there. Basically just trying to score the most glory points at the end of the game. I was not too enamored with it, which is unfortunate because I usually like most of what Galacta puts out. However, this one just really fell flat for me. Gave it a 4, as you can see. Didn't really like it that much, but check it out. Maybe you will. I also did a review for Nova Cry. This is a sci-fi themed card game, really, that feels much more like a board game than it does a card game, but I did enjoy the game, gave it a 6. The Sponsio was the next video I was able to do for a review. Sponsio is a trick-taking game with a twist where the first round is actually you're betting on how well or maybe not well you're going to be doing during the trick-taking portion of the game. So I did enjoy that a lot. I like it because it's a trick-taking game that has a little bit of convolution to it, but the trick-taking part of it, they left that alone. I really enjoyed it, gave it a 7. Then I was also able to do another episode of Throat Punch Lunch. Now, I'm not taking any credit for this one, of course, because all I did was I put all of the different contributor segments together. I wasn't able to record my own segment this week because I just had a lot of difficulty with my wife being in the hospital, so wasn't able to get to that, but my contributors are continuing to knock it out of the park. I know I'm biased, but I really enjoyed it. Then we also, Rob and I also did a Battling Brushes where we are continuing painting our Guild Ball teams. I'm doing a Denver Broncos themed Butchers Guild team, and then Rob is continuing his Pittsburgh Steelers Fisherman's Guild team. So go check that video out, see how we're progressing. And that's it from me. See you on the flip side.
Hello! This week I did a Norwegian game, Capital Lux from Kristian Østby and Eli Svensson. So, being a Norwegian company and Norwegian designers, I might be a bit biased here. But anyway, I like the game, so that's why I'm saying this disclaimer. It's a very nice filler game, and yeah, well, check it out. It's so easy to get into and so easy to play, and you have a lot of fun playing it. So, yeah, just check it out and you see. Okay, see ya!
I had fewer reviews this past week. I apologize about that. But Zooscape, I took a look at. This is a game in which you are splitting up animals into groups and then people bid on which one they want. Slightly clunkier than I like, but it's still fun and a lot of great artwork and graphic design. Quests of Valeria. This is the third Valeria game, although it's different than the rest. This one plays kind of like a card game version of Lords of Waterdeep. So in this game, you're drafting different heroes, and then those heroes will give you bonus actions and things you can do, and then you turn in those heroes to accomplish quests. Quick and fun. Smash Up, what were we thinking, adds 4 new factions: grannies, rock stars, explorers, and teddy bears. They're starting to stretch with the factions, I think. They didn't feel like extremely different than other factions, but they're good, solid ones to add into the mix of Smash Up. And Protect the Pride Lands. This is a kids game that I picked up at a mass market store, which is a cooperative game based on a little Lion King series. And it is really well done. Simple decisions, but you have to work together to get things done. I also talked about why I love Le Havre, one of my favorite games. Le Havre is just a fantastic Uwe Rosenberg lookout game where you're collecting resources and building buildings, something you think I would not like normally, but I really enjoy it. And I talked about my favorite games from GMT, Playroom Games, and Repos Productions, and put out a few other videos. There's a video of Melody versus Amy in a very fun game where we get to destroy cards. Anyway, thanks so much for watching Week in Review. Until next time, I'm Tom Vasel on the Dice Tower.